What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Trey Sense, and we got a little bit of a review, a little bit of a discussion. You know how we do it here on the channel. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 men fragrances from my collection that you may not necessarily think of as compliment getters, but they are. Some of them you may know, or you may think, yeah, I can see that. And others you may think, I didn't think about that one. But before I get into that, I need something from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. And if you haven't, by all means, if you will consider it, please sub to the channel. Man, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Your boy had a dentist appointment the other day. Successfully got the tooth removed. A little bit sore, but nah, nothing I can't handle. You know, so yeah, I gotta clean the old glasses before we get into this. But anyway, I hope everybody's having themselves a good week. I am off for the next 2 weeks, not with my mouth, but issue with my foot. But the show must go on. So let's go. All right, this first one, I think will definitely surprise you as a compliment getter. But it is a compliment getter, especially for the upcoming spring, which we're just around the corner from March. Seems like the year is flying by really fast. I can't believe it. But this next one is definitely a compliment getter, and it's a surprising compliment getter, I think, from the house of Clinique. It is Clinique Happy for Men. This is a compliment getter, and this is one that has been in and out of my collection since the 90s, man. Oh, man. And this fragrance probably should have been marketed as a unisex fragrance. It's sweet, floral. It smells like honeysuckles or something, but it is a beautiful, it's a beautiful fragrance, man. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a beautiful fragrance. Sweet, honeysuckles. I could easily see a woman picking this up and wearing it. I have had multiple women tell me how much they love the way this fragrance smells on a man. Surprising. It was definitely surprising to me. I remember a young lady stopped by one day and we were just kicking it, and she was looking at my fragrances and she picked this up and she goes, "Ooh, I love this one." I dated a chick one time, and we were and she knew I was into fragrances, and we were just talking about fragrances or whatever. And she was like, "Ooh, I love Clinique Happy." And I'm going, "Really?" It just shocked me. I was just like, "Really?" You know, and I think maybe I picked this up for the first time in maybe 98, somewhere in there. Yeah. So, but anyway, from the house of Clinique, it is Clinique Happy. That one may surprise you a little bit, but it is a good smelling fragrance. Great for the upcoming spring. Just like here in Alabama today, it was the last 2 days, it's been 70 plus degrees. I think it's gonna rain a little bit, and after the rain, I'm not sure what it's gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna turn back cool again, or if it's gonna stay warm and keep trending up. You can't ever tell with Alabama, but either way, in the upcoming spring, that's a good one to wear. All right, moving along. This next one from the house of Al Rehab, it is Choco Musk. And this is a cheapie, man. You can get this for $8, $9, $10 on Amazon, and it is also a unisex fragrance, but with this one you have cocoa and vanilla mixing, making a beautiful scent. It is warm, it is inviting. I could see a woman wearing this easily, but I could also see a man wearing this, and I could see a man layering this as well. I could see a woman wearing it straight up as it is. As a man, you may want to layer it, but nonetheless, it is a very well made fragrance. I'm not sure if it's, let me see if I can see it on here. And of course I can't with these old eyes. I was looking for the concentration. I'm pretty sure it's a perfume concentration, or an EDP rather, not a perfume. Strong, potent. This stuff stays on for hours, and just a squirt or two of this will do you. To give you maybe a reference point, Givenchy Pie maybe But this would be Givenchy pie on steroids. This is way better than Givenchy pie. But just to give you a reference, it could be the vanilla that makes me think of it, but nonetheless, vanilla, cocoa goodness with this one, and this one is cheap. And this one is a compliment getter. The only thing about this one is it is so strong and so potent, you have to go just a little bit light on the sprays. 2, maybe 4 sprays at the most, placed strategically, maybe neck, wrist, or if you've got on a hoodie, maybe middle of the chest, wrist, and back of the neck, and you should be good. That's about all you're gonna need of this one because it is a monster. But from the house of Al Rehab, it is Choco Must. Where do I go from here, man? Let's get this one out of the way. From the house of Pepe Jeans, and I was one of the first fragrance reviewers to talk about this fragrance. From the house of Pepe Jeans, it is Celebrate, and it is a nice little drink mixer bottle or whatever. And this one is chocolatey, coffee, goodness. And on top of the blue bottle looking like the Notre Dame Golden Dome, but it's just a great fragrance. And this is one, again, that is really well made, and it's a cheapie too. You can pick this up for $22 or $23, but it is definitely a good fragrance. It is a compliment getter simply because you don't find a lot of people wearing it, but it is very rich and it is very dense and it smells super expensive. So again, it's one that you're not gonna want to go extremely heavy on the sprays. You're gonna want to keep it light. You're gonna want to keep it easy on the sprays with this one. I say maybe 5, 6 max of this one, and you're gonna be good because again, it is a really thick, heavy fragrance. I do think this one needs more cooler weather, but of course you can wear these in any situation that you so choose. But again, with this one, I think the coffee chocolatey mix in this one is what makes this one a star and a compliment getter. I guess that would make it a gourmand, but nonetheless, it is a great fragrance. All right, now which 3? Let me get the ones I've already done out of the way so I don't get them confused. Okay, all right, let me go with this one. This next one is probably the most surprising compliment getter on this list. I knew I liked it when I smelled it, but I didn't think I was going to get the reactions that I get from this one and the OG. From the house of Calvin Klein, it is Diffie. Just kidding. It's Defy. When I first got this, I pronounced it Diffie, but it's Calvin Klein Defy EDP. This is a compliment getter, and so is, as I look at the rest of my collection, Calvin Klein Defy. It's a compliment getter as well. If you don't have the EDP, you can easily wear the EDT and get just as many compliments. But this one, again, it's a little bit more dressed up, a little bit less protruding to the nose, to say the least. It's a little bit more chill, a little bit more laid back, just a tad bit more responsible, a little bit more grown up. But when I wore this fragrance, I'll never forget it. I was at the barber shop and one of the barbers walked by, and this is a barber that he's not really into fragrances. He's heavy into fashion, but not really into fragrances. He probably only has 3 or 4 different bottles of cologne and probably doesn't wear them very often. He walked by, he stopped dead in his tracks, turned around and said, "Big boy, you know you smell good." And this is what I had on. Same day, I go to work. "Trey, what is that you got on?" And just compliments after compliments. Now the thing about it is, this one you have to be careful with, and this is the beautiful thing about being a fragrance reviewer, a fragrance hunter that I like. This weekend I went to Belk's. Hadn't been in Belk's in some years, but I went in Belk's just doing some looking, just looking, seeing what was out there. What did I see at the very bottom in the Calvin Klein section? Defy. Do not pay full retail for this fragrance. Don't do it. I picked this up at TJ Maxx for $28, $29, $30, and you can still buy it there for $70 or $80. So people knock some of us that go to rack stores looking for steals and gems. Well, here's a perfect example. But with this, you just have a grown, masculine, leathery type of vibe that's just good. It just works. It smells really expensive. It smells like something from the house of Tom Ford. So yeah, from the house of Calvin Klein, it is Defy EDP, and I love the gradient bottle. I think that's a good looking bottle. Love the shades of blue on that. Now, I mean, of course, listen, I have some really, really good colognes in my collection, so of course I could have went with stuff like Tom Ford Noir Extreme, or anything from Parfums de Marly or Nichane, or I mean, that would have been easy. My goal is to always make you think, or help you to think outside of the box, and maybe dust off some of your fragrances that you have forgotten about, because we in Fragcom move on really quickly, and it's always a race to get the newest. Sometimes what you have still works and it's still good, and sometimes we just need to enjoy them, spray them, and celebrate them. Just saying. All right, so we'll stick with the house of Calvin Klein. This is one I don't know if you can get anymore, man. But it is a beautiful fragrance as well. I like it. I like it a lot, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. And it is Reveal. It is Reveal. This is a beautiful scent as well. Oh boy, this is a good one. This is a good one. And this one just never really took off. It never really got a lot of hype. That's good. That's good. It has a modern smell to it. Clean, masculine goodness is what I pick up from this one. It's not a soapy scent. It's not a shower jelly scent. It's not boozy. It's not leathery. It's sort of basic, but it just works. And it's one of those fragrances, when I wear, people are always like, what is that you're wearing? And I can honestly say I don't have anything in my collection that smells like this, or this doesn't smell like anything in my collection. Calvin Klein did a really, really good job with this fragrance, and Defy. Diffie just sounds better though. I'm sorry. It sounds better saying Diffie. Diffie's more fun to say. But this one, man, they did a good job with this. Very well made, very well blended. You're gonna get a nice dose of a clean scent mixed in with some masculinity, and that is the best way for me to describe it to you. From the house of Calvin Klein, it is Calvin Klein's Reveal, or CK Reveal. That is one, if you have an opportunity to get your hands on, get it. Now I need to put the ones that I haven't done yet. I know it has been discontinued, but discontinued doesn't always mean that the prices went outrageous or that it's hard to get, because CK Shock is discontinued as well, and it is not hard to get. Nor has the price went up. That's good. So is that Defy. That Defy is super, super leathery, but it's so gentlemanly at the same time. That is just a well-made fragrance. Definitely try to find Defy and Defy EDP. Definitely try to find them. This next one is from the house of Lacoste, and it is Lacoste L'Homme. And I've talked about this fragrance several times on my channel, because for a $30 to $40 fragrance, I think it's just a star. I love it. You get a very well-rounded, well-blended, sweet, slightly boozy fragrance. This one right here has no season. It has no occasion. It is, okay, never said this on my channel. To me, it's a perfect scent. It's a 10 out of 10 because it's inexpensive enough that I can wear this every day if I wanted to. It smells good enough that I could wear this every day if I wanted to. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. Sweatpants and a hoodie, tuxedo. Nobody's gonna know the difference. It gives me YSL tuxedo type vibes. It gives me a very elegant vibe, as my boy Manny would say, elegant. But I love it. I absolutely adore this fragrance, and the Intense is good as well. But if you can't find the Intense, This is backup bottle worthy to me. This is one I don't ever want to run out of. And if I had to only keep 150 fragrances, this would be in that rotation somewhere, man. It's just good. And again, I don't understand why fragrances like this weren't hyped more, but it will definitely get you some compliments, especially if you wear this right. To me, this fragrance screams nice dungarees, nice jeans, and some simple tennis shoes, nothing over the top, and a nice polo, nice watch. Done. It screams that. But again, at the same time, you can dress it up. You can easily see this being worn to a spring wedding or a fall wedding. It's just good, guys. It's just good. Listen to me now. Believe me later on. From the house of Lacoste, it is Lacoste L'Homme. And a fragrance that fragrance gives me sort of the same vibe and the same energy, but I absolutely adore this fragrance. It is a compliment getter as well. This house is, I don't understand why it's not considered niche, but by definition, it's definitely designer because the house is Chanel, but the fragrances are top quality fragrances. So from the house of Chanel, from their Allure line, you have Chanel Allure Homme, the OG. And I like it. I like it a lot. And it's just good. Slight citrus, but not overly citrusy. A little bit playful, but not immature. It smells like a grown man scent. It's not loud. It's not obnoxious. Sits a little closer to the skin. It does sit there for a while, but just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance from the house of Chanel. It is Chanel Allure. And I have Chanel Allure Homme Sport and Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme or Extreme. I'm not sure which one I like better. This is good. This is really good. And I love Bleu de Chanel as well. I mean, to me, they're just good. I like Chanel fragrances. I think they're well made. And I've talked to guys that clone fragrances and they talk about how hard it is to pinpoint and nail down Chanel. So from the house of Chanel, it is Chanel Allure. Who's on? Chanel Allure Homme. I got 3 more. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I've only had one person say that they did not like this fragrance. Everybody else that has smelled this fragrance and has smelled this fragrance on me has went absolutely nuts. From the house of Prada, it is Prada Luna Rossa Black. And Prada Luna Rossa is a pretty significant line. They have some pretty good fragrances. Because you got Ocean. Then you have, what is the new Ocean Parfum or EDP, whichever one it is. I'm not sure. Don't come for me. You have Ocean, you have Carbon, you have Luna Rossa, you have Luna Rossa Sport. I mean, you have Luna Rossa, what is it, Eau Fraiche, whichever one it is, in the white bottle. I mean, and then you have Black. You have Black, and they are all good fragrances. None of those fragrances that I just named smell bad. They all smell really, really good. This one right here, to me, is just a beautiful scent. It's very dressy, powdery, fresh, goodness. I like to wear this when it's cold, and I'll a lot of times wear this on the first date. I will pull this out on the first date. I'm gonna throw them a bone too. A lot of times when I'm going on a first date, believe it or not, I reach for something from Sensual Obsessions or Dapper. A lot of times, because those fragrances have been sitting in my collection for so long, just getting stronger and more potent and richer because of the oil concentration, that they're just bangers. So just a little tidbit for those of you who wonder if I wear my Sensual and I really wear my Dapper. I do, especially my Sensual. And Kevin is a class act. Guy's been really good to me. But anyway, back to Prada Luna Rossa Black. This one is just goodness. I've only had one person say that they did not like this fragrance, but I think it made their nose itch. But I think it's the iris, the powdery, irisy. I mean, it's just a good, sweet fragrance. And again, to me, this is a 10 out of 10. This is another one that you can dress up. It doesn't really have a season. I prefer it better in the cold simply because it's very strong and it cuts through the cold, but it's definitely winter, summer, spring, fall. Dress it up, dress it down. And you see the smile on my face. I love it. I love it. A little bit spicy in there too, just a little bit spicy. Maybe that's what was burning their nose, because they don't like anything with the peppery in it, whether it's red tobacco or what is that? Spice Bomb infrared, and they don't want none of that. Tickles their noses. So maybe it's the peppery aspect of this, but everybody else, when I wear this, especially if I'm dressed right. I got two more, so let's turn a double play. From the house of Giorgio Armani. And this is one fragrance line that I think has exceeded the predecessor, and the predecessor was a game changer. So the house is Giorgio Armani, the line is Acqua di Gio, and this is Profundo. No? Profumo. It's hard to read that. This is Profumo. And I like it. I do. I like it. Besides the fact that it has a magnetic cap. Again, much like Lacoste and much like Allure, it's a grown man dressed up citrus. It smells good, but at the same time, it has a little bit of playfulness and body to it. Citrus is the main driver in the fragrance, but it lasts and lasts and lasts. A great performer, and it smells good. Now, my favorite from this line so far is still the new one, the newest one that I have, which is the Armani, Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio Parfum. That's, to me, that's my favorite because it retains the most from the OG, but yet being better. You still get a lot of that aquaticness from that fragrance, but so much more. So, but we're talking about Profumo, and I just like this fragrance. This is one, you know, if you wear this and you get in her car and you put your seatbelt on, she's gonna be smelling you for days. I mean, this is going to linger, and that's a beautiful thing, man. That's beautiful. Women like that kind of stuff. When you ain't around and they still smell you, playboy. Listen to me now, believe me later on. But this one is a good one. Grown man citrus. Again, citrus is the star of the show, in my opinion, to my nose, but at the same time, it's just well blended, well made. I won't say it's a 10 out of 10, but it's a good fragrance. It's a good fragrance. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it sticks around and hangs around, much like that Defy and that Prada is doing. I'm telling you, that Defy is really something special. It is really something special. That fragrance should be talked about by every reviewer in Fragcom, and the fact that it's not just shows you how the wheels turn. It's a popularity contest, so we should really be wearing what we like, because there are reviewers that will tell you if this same scent was $700 and it was pronounced gauche bagauche or something that we couldn't say, and it was something that the average guy couldn't pick up, there would be reviewers sit on the other side of the screen and tell you how beautiful the fragrance is and how unique it is, and da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da, and go on and on and on about it. But when it's a Calvin Klein fragrance, they tell you. Boy, that sounded bad. I thought, oh, that broke, but it didn't. If it's a Calvin Klein, because it's a Calvin Klein fragrance, but anyway, last but not least, okay. This also is one of my favorite flanker lines, I guess, so to speak, because this is a flanker. The house is Paco Rabanne. The line is 1 million. And this is 1 million's Royal. And this is a stunning fragrance as well. I'm smelling good up in here, y'all. I smelled this on a sub of mine, Mr. Lester Eccles. He He came in and I said, Mr. E, what you got on? And he said, can you smell it? I said, yeah, what is it? So I didn't recognize it. And this was after I bought it. He said, it's 1 Million Royal. I said, man, this smells good. When he turned down the aisle to come through my line, you could smell it. And he was several arms feet away. And I was just like, man, that smells good. Then I talked to JP about it. And JP was like, Trey, man, I had to get it, man. I had to get that Royal. I didn't realize it smelled that good. Shockingly good. Stunning fragrance. This is a stunning, stunning fragrance. I like it a little bit floral, but it's a masculine floral. The only knock I have on this fragrance is not really a knock, but it's just, you don't really pick up on much of the 1 Million DNA, which to some people, that may be a good thing. For me, I like to at least pick up on just a little bit so you can see where they're going. You know, I guess, so it remains part of the trilogy, but some people don't. But nonetheless, this is a stunning fragrance. I think it smells good, and it was nice to smell it on somebody else so I could, you know, really get a feel for it. And fragrances smell different on other people, and they smell different in the air coming off of your skin. So you may spray a fragrance on and think, that just didn't really do anything for me. And 5 minutes later, 10 people tell you how good you smell. Well, that's why, because, you know, it just, dare I say it smelled better on him than it did me. Maybe it did, but it worked. And this is a compliment getter of a fragrance. I've heard several women talk about how they like this one. I've seen several female reviewers talk about how they like this one. I've worn this one and received compliments from it. It works. It just works. And I've smelled it on other people myself and was like, man, that smells really nice. What is that? And it's a fragrance hard to have. 1 Million Royal. All right, guys, that is it, man. That is it. Sorry if this video was so long, but it's hard to get 10 fragrances in a short period of time. So, yeah. And of course, any of these fragrances can be sampled and decanted. I don't think I will try this one because I have not purchased a funnel yet, but the rest of them can be. If you want a decant, I will gladly sell you a decant. Email will be in the description below. With that being said, again, I hope everybody had a great Wednesday. Happy Thursday, and it's getting ready for the weekend again. So I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you all for sitting through this video with me and returning to the scene of the crime. It means so much. So I love you all, and may God bless you all. Until next time, guys. Peace.